everyone, it's Amin Mombani here and welcome to Everyday Conversations. Quick one before we start, if you haven't subscribed yet on YouTube, Spotify, or whatever you're listening right now, do that. New episodes drop every single week and I genuinely don't want you to miss what's coming. Trust me, the lineup is solid. Also, everything I share over here are purely based on my own personal thoughts and reflections. I'm not a licensed therapist, not a certified coach. This is strictly and purely for educational and entertainment purposes. Take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't, and fuel up your own journey. Alright, let's go. I want to ask you guys something honest. When was the last time you felt genuinely stressless? And I mean genuinely, not just stressed, not just tired, just restless. That quiet feeling that something needs to shift. I know that feeling well. I have sat with it for weeks at a time. For the longest time, I thought it meant something was wrong with me, that I was ungrateful, that I should just appreciate what I had and stop being difficult. But here's what I believe now: the restlessness, the discomfort you keep trying to shift and you keep trying to shake off, that isn't a malfunction. This is the universe tapping you on the shoulder. Think about it this way: you have heard about manifestation, the law of attraction, or the idea what you put out, you draw back in. I believe that genuinely. I consider myself a believer in the universe, manifestation, and the law of attraction. But here's what nobody talks about: the universe cannot deliver what you keep refusing to receive. You are saying that I want more, but please don't change anything. It does not work like that. If you remember back in episode 3, I was in a conversation with Rajiv George and we talked a little bit about the law of attraction and manifestation. Rajiv gave this brilliant example of comparing Elon Musk to an average person. If both of them are asking for universe for more money, who is actually positioned to receive it? Either Elon or an average person. You know what? It's Elon. Why? Why? Because he's genuinely open to receiving. When he asks for more, he's actually ready to hold it. There are no internal blockades, no hidden guilt, and no hesitation. You can write down your affirmations, you can visualize the life, you can say that prayers and set the intentions, but if you are sitting in a room you have outgrown, clinging to what's familiar just because it feels safe, you're sending a mixed signal. Let me tell you something about the waiting room. Most of us are living in it right now. We are waiting for the stars to align. We are thinking that okay, universe is going to align something for us, for the economy to say stabilize, for our bank account to hit a specific number, for someone to finally tap us on our shoulder and say, hey, you are okay, buddy. You're ready. The permission is there with you. Go ahead. That person is never coming. That moment is never coming. Nobody's going to unlock the door for you. Nobody's going to hand you a sign from the universe and that says, today is the day. Go ahead. It's safe now. It's a green signal. No. Psychologist Nathaniel Branden once put it, I'll read out the quote for you. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to make life right for you. No one is coming to solve your problems. If you don't do something, nothing is going to get better. And you know what's really dangerous? It's how comfortable we get in that waiting room. It all depends on how comfortable we are. We stay in jobs we have outgrown, relationships that have run their course, routines that are quietly draining the life out of us. Not because we are happy, but because known misery feels safer. We tell ourselves, well, things aren't falling apart, the rents gets paid, I know what tomorrow looks like, so I must be on the right track, right? No. But there is a catch, you know. The law of attraction works both ways. When you stay somewhere that's no longer aligned with who you are becoming, you aren't just standing still, you're actively attracting more of the same. More comfort, more familiarity, more of the very thing keeping you small. The stability without growth isn't safety. It's just a cage with a very comfortable floor. You know, I actually want you to stop for a second. Not metaphorically, but just pause and ask yourself something honestly. Where in your life right now you are trading your real potential for a false sense of security? Is that a project you keep putting off because you might not be perfect on that day one? Or is it the conversation you keep avoiding? Or is it the version of yourself you imagined a few years ago? The business, the move, the creative path, the life that you quietly packed away because someone told you that it is too risky. It's way too risky. Here is what I know from my own life and from every honest conversation on this show. The real growth has never happened when everything was comfortable. It never happened when conditions were perfect, when the plan went exactly as expected. It happened when the things went sideways, when something I thought was solid fell apart, when I had to figure out something that I didn't feel remotely ready for. Looking back at every one of those moments, I can see now that the universe wasn't punishing me, it was redirecting me actually. The breakdown was a breakthrough. I just couldn't see it while I was in the middle of it. Growth doesn't happen in the waiting room, it happens in the arena. You have to get out of the waiting room, you have to get out of this cage, you have to get out of your comfort zone. People ask, like, how do you know when it's ready? How do you know when it's your time? I would say only one thing: you never feel completely ready. There is no such time. Readiness is not a feeling that shows up before you started. It is something that builds because you started. You have to get out of that. The clarity does not come from sitting still and thinking harder about it. The clarity comes from moving. This is where the manifestation gets real for me. People hear the law of attraction and they think it means think positive thoughts and good things will appear. But that is only half of it. The other half is the alignment. Moving in the direction of what you want, taking the imperfect first step, saying yes to something before you are ready, because the universe responds to action, not just intention. You cannot sit in the wrong room thinking about the right one and expect the door to open. You have to get up and walk towards it. The hardest part is not the step itself, it's the moment before. When you have to stop lying to yourself. When you have to admit that the thing you are clinging to for safety is actually the thing keeping you from everything you say you want. There is a scripture that has been stuck in my mind for years. Steve Harvey brought it on his show once and many times, quoting that you have not because you ask not. Is he right? Absolutely yes, because there is no escaping that truth. Because if you have never clearly asked for what you want, if you never actually step up and claim it, you're actually opting out. You're never going to receive that. Because if you are asking for something, you're getting it. You have to put efforts on that. You have to put efforts on asking that particular thing for you. There is a lot of abundance in the universe. And millions of people are asking for it. And they are getting it. But why not you? So if you ask, you are going to get. That's so simple thing. It's very simple. I was watching Steve Harvey that day, and he clearly mentioned over there that there is an activity for you guys. Write down some 300 things on a piece of paper which you want to ask universe for, and you're gonna say that 300 is too less. It's too easy to write, and you will be tired on maybe 50, maybe 75, maybe 20. You can't recall what you want. A car. Make it specific. Which color car you want, which brand car you want, which model you want. If you want something different, write down every single thing. If you're tired or if you give up writing, don't do that. Because that is the list which you're asking for. Not today, not tomorrow, not in a week, not in a month. It takes time, but it will come to you. Look at the examples we all know. Take Steve Harvey. Before he became a household name, he spent years living out of his car, completely broke, wondering how he was going to survive. He often talks about that absolute lowest point, the moment he was ready to give up completely. But he kept pushing. He kept trusting the process step by step because his vision was bigger than his adversity. Or you might look at Oprah Winfrey. Long before she became a media icon, she fell completely in love with the novel The Purple Color, or I think The Color Purple, and visualized herself starring in that film adaptation. She didn't wait for permission or a clear pathway. She aligned her energy so completely with that desire that she manifested her way straight into that major role. And then we all know about Jim Carrey. Years before, he landed his first massive Hollywood paycheck. He wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, dated it for Thanksgiving 1995, and he kept it in his wallet. He visualized it, he believed it, and right before that deadline, he hit that. He secured that exact role that paid him $10 million for Dumb and Dumber. Can you believe that? They didn't sit in the waiting room hoping someone would hand them a ticket, a paycheck, a salary raise. They sent a clean, unshakable, clear signal to the universe. And they asked, and the universe gave them. They stepped up to receive it. If you are open to receive anything you ask for, you're definitely gonna get it. So here's what I want to leave you with today. The door was never closed. You built the cage, which means you already have the key. Stop waiting for permission from the universe. The universe has already been sending you the signals. You have been feeling them. The restlessness, the friction, the quiet voice that keeps showing up on you ordinary Tuesday afternoons. This is not anxiety. That is the alignment calling you forward. Take the first step today, not tomorrow. Not when the timing is better. Today. The messy step, the imperfect step, the one that scares you a little. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you want, or the life you keep visualizing, is the decision to stop waiting for it and start walking towards it. Focus on you. Focus on building. Focus on being better than you were yesterday. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Everyday Conversations. Goodbye.